Welcome to the Outdoor Biz Podcast, your home for inspiring conversations with outdoor insiders. Each week, author, speaker, adventurer, and outdoor industry veteran Rick Saez talks in depth with iconic brand founders, sales and marketing pros, product designers, and industry rising stars. Listen in when Rick's guests offer actionable advice to land your ideal industry gig and grow your outdoor career. Catch us again when the conversation shifts to the hottest outdoor products, destinations, and the latest industry insights. And now, here's Rick.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 323 of the Outdoor Biz Podcast. Beth Cochran is here with me today to share stories about her outdoor career and her firm Whatsup PR. 2022 is Beth's 25th anniversary in the outdoor industry. Congratulations, Beth, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rick. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, this is going to be a very fun conversation. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. I hope we don't go too long. I don't think we will.
Well, that's what the edit button's for, so
that's
thanks.
It. We'll go as long as we go, yeah. So let's start off with how you fell in love with the outdoors. You co-founded Bike Across America and biked unsupported across the U.S. in 60 days. That's pretty impressive. And with only $10 in your pocket to raise awareness for homeless in America. Was cycling how you fell in love with the outdoors?
Well, when I was looking at your questions, I had time to ponder this question, and I'm going to start with a little precursor that I was fortunate enough as a little kid to get exposed to the kind of foothills of Douglas County. My folks bought a funny 1970s paneled cabin with avocado fixtures and shag. So not glamorous. It was a real estate's cabin, but it was on a river, it was on a stream with a waterfall up above, and then behind us was National Forest Service land. And it was in Perry Park. It's south of Denver, along this beautiful kind of the ridge line of red rocks. They've got these beautiful rock formations there. Yeah. Stunning. And across the stream was this funky old dirty barn that I loved, and I hung out there every single day. I was the youngest of 4 kids, and everybody was grown. And there at the barn, I just hung out and took care of this ornery pony for a couple summers till everybody knew I was ready for a horse, and I was loaned a horse. But I worked at that barn all the time, shoveling, feeding, cleaning. I did 4-H, state fairs.
Okay.
So I think that just that Colorado outdoor kind of in the grit was born then. And fast forward between, sports and college, did quite a bit of traveling. That just the spirit of adventure, I guess, has always been in me. Mm-hmm. But not through my parents. They were.
I was going to say, where'd that come from?
Yeah. That they want to know where that came from. They really want to know where that came from. They're both from Indiana, Chicago, hardworking, Midwestern, kind of simple folk. Dad was a professional. Mom was kind of a stay home. She volunteered a great deal. So,
interesting.
I was just, I just kind of had the fire in the belly.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm the same way, but I got it from other family members. It runs through our family. Just always love to be out and about. So tell us how
you're going to love the bike trip is so funny because, yes, we developed a bike trip, myself and a partner, and it was 1987. And I'd been to Europe, and I had discovered so much. But what I came back with was Europe did not have quite the homelessness we were experiencing in the late 80s. And we also had a number of recessions. Mm-hmm. And I thought, how can we be one of the greatest world powers, the most wealthy, and have this struggling challenge? And I learned that Reagan had changed our mental health services and had canceled the budget on that, hoping to have it revised.
Closed a bunch of hospitals.
Yeah, closed all of his facilities, hospitals, and then psychiatric treatment through medicine was popular. So they thought, well, let's just give them the pills.
Yeah, drugs, not mushrooms, drugs. Yeah,
set them free. It's so, we're always going to have a third, as we know, that prefer to be homeless and, in the 30s call them hobos. Mm-hmm. But the other 2/3 are economic, families that are economically and adversely affected. And the other third is really the mental health care that we're letting our society down. And we can see that today. because since 1987, it's never been replaced. So here we are all across America and the opioid epidemic having the same issue of why we biked across America. Mm-hmm. And it was myself and a partner. It was a nonprofit we set up when I was 21, barely.
Wow.
And it was amazing. So I was in college, and we were able to interview with the governors, the first governors. We went out to Oregon and Seattle and get their letter of approval. And from there, once we had the governor's letters, we had the mayor's letters. And we set up appointments all across America in shelters.
Very cool.
To be interviewed regarding this plight. Mm-hmm. And from there, we were able to reach out to our favorite brands. So good old North Face came on, Trek came on, Thermarest, Power Bar, Whisper Light, and we're forever, in gratitude for their early support. And so the funny thing is that I would say kind of launched my understanding of being involved, getting involved, bringing on brands, and sort of an introduction to this industry without me knowing it.
Right. Gotcha.
So that's a long-winded answer.
And so that Bike Across America went on for a few years too, right? Is it still going on today?
Oh, you're sweet. There is Bike Across America.
Yeah.
And that is the Bicentennial Trail, which we followed. Uh-huh. We were cycle. We were bike cycle.
Okay, gotcha.
So ours was specific to raise awareness and funds
a little different
for shelters.
Gotcha. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
But thank you for the credit.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. I mean, it's.
I need to go back and do it again.
Do it again. That's right.
We still don't have help. We still don't have mental health care.
Yeah, that's right. We still need the help. Yeah. So, is that how Whatsup PR came to life? That was your introduction to the outdoors and the brands, and you saw an opportunity or a need.
Well, I was lucky when I was in Colorado. I am a native. That I worked at a Bausch & Lomb subsidiary outside of Boulder, and worked on some popular outdoor brands. So the ice ski line, Sun Cloud. And then we also helped launch the Harley line, Elizabeth Arden, and a number of outdoor eyewear lines. And then my husband and I moved to Montana.
Yeah.
And in Montana, I worked for an emerging successful advertising firm that had Marker and Dana and K2. So I would go to all the shows and was a show representative and a new business national specialist for the ad firm. And what I discovered, which I'm so grateful for, I worked on the manufacturing side and I worked on the ad side. So both sides of what the product needs to get to market. And from that, to me, there was a gap in what the manufacturer needed. I think the model of ad agencies works well, but for me, actually working for a manufacturer, I felt the manufacturer's needs still weren't being met. So that's why I saw a need of knowing how busy production, product development, marketing, all the internal people are so maxed at trying to get the product to market that they can't quite communicate it to the ad firm or to the consumer.
Right.
So I felt I could create a hybrid where I could come in surgically and help these manufacturers reach the public through PR, communications, events, athletes. And that was all just emerging in 1997. There were definitely big New York and LA firms doing this, but in our market sector, small emerging to mid-sized brands, that's not something they really allocated.
Right.
So Whatsup PR was born out of this ability to stay nimble and provide services that internally brands could utilize.
And you guys hit the ground running. So you had programs all set up and you had connections. So you probably just
that part that went really well.
It's kind of easy, not easy, but simpler.
Well, it was fortuitous.
Yeah, right.
I did have, and I did an interview the other day, and I want to thank Frank Hugelmeyer, one of our leaders from OIA many years ago that really stepped up.
Tried to get him on the show. Come on, Frank.
Yeah, I'll get him back. Industry brand, and he, in a very generous way, gave my name to a number of these international brands that are on my website. He said, Beth, you just have this way. I bet, I know these brands coming in the U.S. could really use this sort of guidance and your, experience and exposure.
Right.
So from my first few brands from Bozeman were La Fuma France and Deuter Germany.
Oh, cool.
And so in my notes, literally, it was dial-up back then. I had a cell phone, a giant cell phone, and a giant laptop, and launched that way. We were virtual from the start.
Wow, that's very cool. So this is nothing new to you, being virtual again. You've been there.
Yeah. So it's so funny with this unfortunate pandemic. That virtual's new. I'm like, oh, it's been great. I've enjoyed the last 20, and I did have an office. I have had staff, but we were really remote for these international brands. Mm-hmm. And actually, in our national brands, we were always very nimble. And I've worked with a bunch of contractors, and we were just always on Skype.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, that makes sense. It's Skype, and now we didn't have the video portion of it, but Skype's been around for a long time, so that probably made it pretty simple.
Skype was great.
And so this is your 2022 is your 25th anniversary. That's quite a milestone. Congratulations!
Thank you. You highlighted that.
Well, that's a pretty big deal.
I remember the 20th was a big deal. I'm like, oh gosh, with the last 18 months, I'm like, oh yeah, here we are. It's 25.
Oh, what are you going to do for the 25th? Are you got any plans to celebrate?
A giant bottle of champagne.
Yeah, good.
Continue the great work. I can't say I've got actually a landmark activity.
All right. Probably got to go on a hike or a bike ride or something, right?
Well, right before the pandemic, our group did summit for Big City Mountaineers, and we summited the Grand Teton, which was on my bucket list forever.
Nice, very cool.
So I'd say that was just right between the two. It was really a special event for Whatsup PR and some of our group.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'll come up with another one for you this year. We're just 2 months in.
Yep, you got plenty of time. It'll go by fast, though, as you know.
Yeah, it will.
So how has the PR role evolved over the years? I'm sure I would think some things have stayed the same, but a lot has changed with all the digital and global reach of brands now.
So how much time do you have, Rick?
We have a lot of time.
We have a lot of time.
Give us the highlights, though. What do you think
the highlights are, and I think my colleagues will agree, last 10 years we were very nimble since 08 and 12 and market changes. Mm-hmm. I'd like to coin the new word hyper nimble.
Yeah, I like it. Mm-hmm.
Hyper nimble. We do use very expensive tracking software now. We have expanded social media services for a number of years. We are offering experiential consumer related events where primarily it was more B2B based on our kind of core model. And I think overall, we're just offering new multi-channel platforms to meet our client needs. You've got the same piece of pie that the manufacturer now has to divide into multiple pieces, right? And so it's helping that manufacturer make sense of it. And maybe each quarter we're to allocate the same amount as it grows and its importance. So I think continuing to work closely with the manufacturer, determining what the best audience reach is, the timing, the strategy. It's more surgical because we have so many opportunities to compete, to communicate, and to reach the end user.
Probably allows you to focus on the opportunities. So you can look at all of them and pick the top three and ignore the bottom three. And yeah, interesting.
Well, and I think a lot of the software we've all had to get educated to, add, adapt, learn, and I think it's critical right now in any and all categories to understand it. So that's something we are constantly trying to evolve and stay ahead of.
Yeah, it's constantly changing all that digital stuff. So how's your team adapting to producing virtual PR for your clients? I mean, in addition to the software piece, are there other tools you have to learn? I'm sure there are. And they change, like we said, they change all the time.
Well, I think we've experienced this across the board with the advent of the pandemic. And my brands internally have had success, and I think we have as well. The flexibility to have the acceptance of Zoom meetings on a broader level is a game changer. It allowed a lot of my brands to stay competitive during the lockdown, to maintain their sales and relationships with their retailers. And then pleasantly for us in media, although we couldn't meet in person, we couldn't have media events, we couldn't go see we couldn't go to New York, we did host live media Zoom presentations with our clients speaking and client videos and client interaction. And boy, last winter I had one Zoom call, I had 100 in attendance.
Wow.
And you can talk to any one of my colleagues. We don't get 100 media showing up in our little events we put on,
Yeah, right.
So that's been very welcome that we can reach more media with quality presentations and kind of interactive face-to-face through Zoom. And I think that's been a real benefit both to my clients and to our firms like ourselves.
Yeah, I've been on a few of those that you guys have put on and other people have put on. They're pretty good. It's like a mini trade show almost. The brand presents and you can get the lay of the land on the line and learn the
and it's nice to have the owner show up, right? We patch in the owner, we patch in the designer, and
yep.
I think there's even more connectivity where when I have a special event, the owners can't always be there, right? I might have oysters and gifts and swag and band and concert, but here they really get to talk to the owners and the designers and product.
That's pretty cool. So anything coming down the pipeline digital-wise that you can tell us about? Something that you're continuing to learn about or something new you have to do possibly? Without giving away any state secrets, of course. We don't want to know anything that's not ready to be exposed yet.
Well, I like what you're doing. Yeah, I like the podcast format. Webinars, right, are very valuable. I think that's an added benefit for our media and our clients and timely topics. We guide a lot of our clients with webinars and set them up in the topics. I think that's been a really exciting forum for them as well.
I think podcasts are a huge opportunity. I've talked to a handful of folks.
And I'm even tempted. I'm tempted.
You should do it.
TikToks are coming, Rick.
Hey, I have a TikTok account. TikToks
are great.
Yep.
No, they're a lot of fun. There's a lot of ways to be fun with it.
I haven't done anything with it.
I don't know if I should tell everyone. I had Snapchat for a million years, and my son is in Europe, so I've gotten active. I'm like, gosh, I like this. I like this Snapchat. So, yeah, I think we have to embrace it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine tune it, figure out what the right execution is for each audience.
Yeah, I think you have to keep learning. I think learning and change is always good, and there's always going to be new things come down the line, whether it's TikTok or Snapchat or podcasts, and you just never know. I think it's good to learn all of them because you never know which one of them is going to break out. Like podcasts, podcasts have exploded, and it's just a great way for people to share their voice and share their story. And there's nothing like the human voice. I mean, I tell everybody your voice is your superpower, so you got to use it.
Well, it's sort of the irony of old time radio, right? I would say I don't want to exaggerate, but was radio dead for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And now we have storytelling, we have jokes, we have learning, we have inspiration, we have psychology. It's just limitless, and it's addictive. I think I'm so happy that we have this new voice interactivity and with podcasts, and that it's modernized and accessible.
And it's a good way to augment all the other things you're doing because people don't always have time to sit down and watch your video, but they can stick an earbud in there and listen to you 24/7, whether they're driving or hiking or biking. So it's great for an active outdoor audience. So yeah. Good on you.
It's positive words.
Cool. Well, if you need any help, let me know. I think I know a guy that can help you.
I think you do. Yeah.
What are some of the ways clients have evolved over the years? In addition to technology, the product is getting amazing.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm really proud of our entire industry and of course my clients.
Yeah.
It was interesting how each client reacted and kind of analyzed their landscape. Crimson Clover, for one, was exceptional. She conservatively projected what her sales might be, what her losses would be. And then she jumped on board, expanding her digital reach, her digital marketing, digital platform, and at the same time took a bold move and anticipated the supply chain situation. Worked with her factories ahead of time, worked with her suppliers ahead of time, negotiated shipping, and hedged on the troubles and got, so this would have been the first year. So everything this fall arrived on time because she ordered it earlier and she put down deposits earlier, and she worked with her factories.
Wow. Where did she get the inspiration or thought to do that?
She travels the world a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of European clients through that account. We have 40 accounts worldwide in major resorts from Asia to New Zealand, all throughout Europe and Russia. So I think she anticipated the troubles. She's been doing this. This is her third brand.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in textiles from South America.
She's been on the
Portugal.
show. I don't remember the number of the episode, but she has been on the show. We'll put that in the show notes.
Oh, yeah. She was, I think, December 7th.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, brilliant. What a brilliant, bold.
Yeah. Jeez. Man.
Ballsy move on her
right.
part. And it paid off. We did a number of promotions. Our firm did a number of collaborative promotions with other like-minded brands to consumers to kind of get them outside, reward them, get them interactive kind of during those kind of darker days of when we were in the lockdown. And she saw that uptick and inspiration. So she kind of went further with that. So that was a super positive move for that brand.
Good for her.
And then the converse, yet equally productive, Dakota Grizzly has a very, very close relationship with their retailers, and they've been conservative on their direct-to-consumer sales online on their website. And so during this period, they held back their online sales. They put up on their website, they directed all sales to their retailers. If you're looking for their shirt, you can find it here, all across America, right? At the brick and mortar and online stores. And then prior to that, they have an RSV program whereby participating retailers, if a shirt, jacket, pants are sold online in that zip code, they attach it to the retailer account. And at the end of the year, any sale online to that partnership, that retailer gets a check at the end of the year for the margin share.
Wow, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, very smart, very progressive. And why not share that? Because before you're selling the whole shirt to them.
Right.
Well, if you're selling it online, why can't you still share some? Why can't you still support all your retailers, all your relationships in your regions?
Exactly. That makes total sense.
Why can't you keep sharing?
Yeah.
So as a result, all the retailers have increased their orders, recommitted, they've opened new orders, and they've had probably 30% growth from their retail relationships.
Good. Well, that's two great examples. That's really smart.
And very, very opposite.
Yeah, right.
Very opposite, but very productive on both parts.
Good on them. Well, we'll link to those in the show notes. And Rob was just on the show, a few episodes ago. So, yeah.
Yeah, not long ago.
Pretty recently.
I think he highlighted that. And
he talked about that.
It's a Midwestern brand. They've been in business 75 years. So they really cherish that kind of interpersonal Midwestern ethos in their brand.
Good on them. We're going to take a little break and give some love to our sponsor, Audible. Hey, do you love to read but don't always have the time to sit down with a good book? I'm the same, and sometimes I just feel like having someone else tell the story. Audible is like having a library in your phone. Whether I'm passing highway mile markers on the way to some adventure or racking up miles in the air, Audible helps the time fly as I'm enjoying a great book I discover or recommended by friends. Sign up for a free trial today at ricksays.com/audible. There are over 180,000 titles to choose from. Go to ricksays.com/audible and start your free trial today. Now, back to the show. So, what do you think the outdoor business is going to look like once the COVID is all sorted out, or at least somewhat normalized, if we ever see that again?
Yeah, we chatted about this a little earlier.
Before the mic was on.
we all want to have a crystal ball.
Yeah.
Myself and a few colleagues are kind of batting around the idea, and we don't know. Is it Emerald? Is it what will be the overriding community that's able to host this with OIA? But we'd like to see a hybrid, multifaceted forum for our trade show community. In that, I think the pandemic, we've gotten by with technology, but we definitely need that place of community and exchange that the market brings. And we've been discussing, well, what would that hybrid look like if it's a multifaceted forum? Could it be something that is crowd drawing keynote speakers concerts, big band concerts, forums, education, panels with a sales component. So right now we do have sales, we do have forums, we do have panels, but are we able to really take in all of them, right? We're running between appointments. We're really there for sales. There's these wonderful adjunct opportunities to learn and grow and have education. But could this be something where it's really education, community, business? What's the business of doing business? And then, of course, a sales component. And of that sales component, how can it be more affordable for these mid-range brands? Because the larger brands across the board, they make their sales on their own. They lock them down. They do them early. You and I talked that this form must align with the true sales cycle and, manufacturing cycle. So it's got to be earlier. This last time it wasn't working for most of the industry. It was too late. Mm-hmm. So the timing is critical. I think the draw is critical. The purpose, the sales component, which we've seen the success in these other grassroots spinoffs that are affordable, and that's why they're working. You and I discussed the good old days at the Rendezvous.
Right.
We went to about 18.
Yeah, I went to a handful of those too. They were great.
Yeah. If you asked OIA, they're like, well, it wasn't profitable. We couldn't keep going, but it makes sense. That's where business was done. That's where people exchanged ideas. That's where evolution was happening. So there's got to be a solution that can serve our community as a whole where we meet.
Yeah, I think there's a mix too. I mean, I think there's a lot of examples out there, that if you look at collectively, you take one of them and look at let's take South by Southwest, for example. That's a great event, it's a great activity, but South by Southwest in and of itself is not the model, but there's probably parts of South by Southwest, parts of Outdoor Retailer, parts of the Big Gear Show, parts of this, parts of that, parts of the Rendezvous that we can piece all together and make it work. And
I agree.
And I think the other part of it is that the profitability part, I think, can be shared as well, right? I mean, there's opportunities to look for larger sponsors that we might look for. It doesn't have to be all on the back of Emerald's bottom line. It could be split between a bunch of different people, and maybe Emerald doesn't even have to worry about it because it's sponsored by big automobiles and liquor companies and whoever it might be. But I think what's going on right now is just simply we
can't afford it.
Can't afford it, and it's just we've evolved beyond it, right? The retail cycle doesn't work. Is Outdoor Retailer even the right name for it? I mean, maybe it's called something different too. So anyway, I think there's a lot of things, and I don't know.
And really good ideas out there like that. And I think the regional shows could have more impact because it's no secret we don't get Maine's not coming to Denver,
right?
Florida's not coming to Denver.
Right.
We do need to represent all our retailers, all our sales, all our people. So how do we also move this event? Does it make sense to be locked into a 10-year contract in one city?
Right.
And we can't be adaptive and be in other regions that we value.
Yep.
That doesn't. And the demos. How do we test gear? Where do we test gear? How do we do it affordably?
Yep. Lots of moving parts.
More questions and answers.
Oh,
right?
of course, yeah. But I think if we get hopefully there are some good heads out there, good big brains out there working on it and talking about it and meeting collectively, not trying to compete with one another, but let's get everybody in the same room or get a bunch of people in the same room and, have
those
some
are the positives
sessions.
from the pandemic. Yeah, we have to change. It's an opportunity. All of this is opportunity to
definitely
do something better, be better.
Yeah.
New solutions.
Well, let's shift gears a little bit away from that and let's talk about getting outside. Are you getting outside? What outdoor activities do you participate in?
Well, it's going to say yes, and forever, always, Rick.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, so my family will tell you we're a ski family. Unwisely, I still like deep, scary, dumb stuff. It just, I still am ignoring the ticking of time. And on the safe side, we camp. We're a river running family. My brother and I have river boats. It's
cool.
Our big collective time together with nieces and nephews, and we've got little grand nieces and nephews.
Very fun.
And and I bike. I still bike.
Okay.
Well, actually, I've been skiing more than biking, but now I have a little new knee injury, so I'm going to be biking even more. So
there you go. Yeah.
I still love to bike. It makes me so happy.
Yeah, that's one thing. When I banged up my knees, everybody you got to get on a bike. You got to get on a bike. And I did. I just never liked it. I never enjoyed it. I used to run. I can't run anymore, but.
Oh, I miss running.
Yeah,
so I just got my brace off. I broke my kneecap recently.
Oof.
And then he goes, well, you can't run. I go, I don't want to run. The thought of run. I just broke my kneecap, and the thought of going out for a jog was not at top of mind.
Yeah. That's the thing
I do want to
most.
ski. Yeah.
Oh, well.
No, running's so easy. You can just go. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I used to do these long runs, and just something about you. I don't know what my brain did during these, turned off and turned on and whatever it did.
Yeah, there's nothing better than a run.
It was awesome. Yep. Oh,
my
other
last
things.
knee injury, my group of lady friends, I have a great group of lady friends, we decided our goal during the last Olympics was to run. There's a race, Rick, you might have to do this one, on the Great Wall of China.
Wow.
And tickets are $500, April 14th. It's always
It's my
$500.
birthday.
I'm telling everybody can hear this. And you fly Thursday, you land Friday. Saturday, we toured Beijing. Sunday, we ran. Half the group flew out Monday. We flew out Tuesday. Decided, we're there. We should see a little more.
Yeah, sure.
And so it was barely 5 days. No one knew I was gone. And there was a marathon, a half, and a 10K on the wall.
Cool.
Your name's written all over it.
Yeah, I'd have to walk it. I literally cannot
You can
run.
walk it.
I have to walk it. That sounds fun.
You can walk it. It is. It's great.
Very cool. Well, put that on the list, everybody. You heard it.
It's on the
April
list.
14th. It's my birthday. I got to celebrate too.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Thanks. Do you have any suggestions or advice for folks that want to get into the outdoor biz?
Oh, I loved this question. I think I said tech pays more.
Yes, your note said that. I read that. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, definitely. It's great. God, I'm so grateful to the people, the businesses. You can get in. I would say, obviously, an internship at any level. Do find what your core greatest strength is. Don't spend 15 years doing something you think you should do. What do you enjoy most within the realms of business and finance and creative? And then, knock on the doors of those manufacturers, call them directly. I wouldn't do all the Indeed and all the digital. I think you still have to work through a friend of a friend of a friend to get that phone call. Mm-hmm. And work for the biggest and the smallest. At the small brands, you get to do absolutely everything, which is irreplaceable. The large brands, you get the wonderful name on your resume, but you're probably in one department doing one thing all day long, and you better not do anything else. So I think multiple experiences. Definitely no retail. You can't really represent the product or manufacturing without knowing the end user and the consumer and the retail experience. You can never know without that firsthand experience.
Yeah. Getting in touch with the customer helps at retail. Yeah.
You have, and the product. The product is king, and so is the end user experience.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I was talking to somebody. Well, the episode that just dropped today with Chad Kelly. He was part of Mike Sullivan's group when I was at Eagle Creek, and he started on the retail floor. Just kind of stumbled into it, worked up, became a buyer, and then became a rep, and now he's president of Event Fabrics. So that's a great path. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say there's so many, avenues. There's design, right? There's supply chain, there's finance, there's retail, there's sales, there's marketing. There are a number of ways you can enter this industry. Yeah, be passionate, be true, work hard, and keep asking questions. That's what these trade shows are really wonderful. Obviously, I love mentoring, and I'm sure you have too.
Yeah.
To help people enter our realm.
Yep, super fun. What's your favorite piece of outdoor gear under $100?
This was fun. At first, I looked at this and I was like, "Oh gosh,
freaks everybody.
What's that going to be? What's that going to be?" And then I was like, "Wait a minute." My daughter asked for a camp stove for her birthday.
Oh, cool.
Those are between $35 and $60. Oh my god! So we got her the triple burner because she loves to cook. It is gorgeous. She's so excited. And that same thing after river trips we use, right? Hut trips, river trips. Well, hut trips if you have a snowmobile, right? Who's king of the crowd? You are when you've got the camp stove.
That's right.
And a bag of groceries, woods, beach, lakes, huts. I mean, it's instant fun.
Yeah.
And then the other one, which I don't, I probably keep one in my purse. I have a headlamp.
Oh, yeah.
Like good old, you have to have, I can't name a name brand, right? Your headlamp. Yep. There's so many good ones out there.
Yep. Pick one.
Gosh,
Yeah, they're all great.
I love my headlamp.
Yeah, that's come up a lot, headlamps.
So versatile.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you never know when you're going to need it. And when you do need it, you need it. And it's good to have.
Yeah, you really need it.
Yeah, that's cool. Here's a fun one. If you could have a huge banner at the entrance to the Outdoor Retailer Show, what would it say?
This one made me ponder too. But in the times that we're in, it was open for business. Let's go outside.
Yeah, I love it. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Let's go. Because we didn't know before what would happen.
Right.
I love the irony that our business is exploding.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so exciting between families and people discovering the outdoors.
Yeah, it's great.
We want to welcome everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool.
Be inclusive.
That's a good one. We're going to put that on a T-shirt. I like that. As we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to say or ask of our listeners? Say too?
Well, this one's kind of funny too because it's our crowd. So maybe preaching to the choir. And I would say, let's just all do our part to remember, just in a simple way, to ask your friends, ask your neighbors, to just take them camping, take them supping, take them fishing, take them hiking. Don't take it for granted that everybody's busy. They don't have time. They don't know the equipment. They don't have the equipment. They don't know where to get it. They don't want to spend money on it. So they don't do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So share your equipment, share your garage, right? Open up the closet and take someone out. And especially in the last administration, my feeling was, and no fault to someone who, didn't grow up in a barn. If you don't know a river trip, if you don't know what those dark skies and those bright stars and watching the lilies open up in the midnight along a river, you don't know to protect those. You don't know that bears' ears matter. You don't know that, that oil pipe could it just go 30 miles west and not straight through, right?
Mm-hmm,
could we spend a little more time and investment and energy of a different path so we don't destroy the sacred space?
That's
but
good.
If those folks just don't know the experience of land, they don't know the sky, they don't know the sound, they're never going to be on our team. They just simply have to be invited. And then they kind of will, it's just a giant aha. They just then know.
That's a good one. Take them out. Get them outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, and my neighbors up the street, they're so tickled. I took them up to this lake in southern Wyoming, got the permit. It's just a big car camping. It's not wild.
Yeah.
But I had all the gear. I got tents. I had the extra sleeping bags. I had the stove. I had the lamps. They didn't. And they're like, this is so fun. This is so great. Oh my God, I'm so happy you had it. Like, where do we get these? Can we get these for cheaper? Where do we start? What do we do? I love the cooking. The cooking's so fun. So, right there, I had 6 converts. It was just so fun.
Exactly. I love that. Take somebody outside. That's awesome.
Just take them out.
Good one.
Just one at a time.
That's awesome. I love that. I'm going to put that on a T-shirt too. Hey, where can people find you if they want to follow up? Email, Twitter, Instagram? What's the best?
I'm a shameless marketer. I'm doing it for 25 years.
You're on all of them. TikTok
so
now.
Instagram, Whatsup PR, LinkedIn, Whatsup PR, Twitter, Whatsup PR, and Facebook, Whatsup Public Relations.
Oh, okay.
And of course, you can reach me directly at Beth Cochran at Whatsup Public Relations.
Cool.
Actually, that's not true. It's whatsuppr.com.
Whatsuppr.com. Yep. Cool. We'll link to all that stuff in the show notes so everybody can find you. And this has been super fun. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks, Rick. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Yeah, it's super. It's great.
To just share the stories of this industry we love so much.
It's great. I'm glad everybody comes on. It's fun to talk to them. Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Thanks. This was a lot of fun.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Outdoor Biz Podcast. Be sure to visit our website, theoutdoorbizpodcast.com, where you'll find show notes with links to everything we talked about and more. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts so you'll never miss an episode. And while you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or spread the word and tell a friend about the show. That would really help us out too. Be sure to tune in every week. And thanks again for listening to the Outdoor Biz Podcast with Rick Saez.